The Great Barrier Reef. The region of the Great Barrier Reef, a sea-girt wilderness, blue rectangle right, of coral reefs, cays, islands, and sheltered seas, forms a 100,000 square mile fringe to the eastern Australian mainland. This huge maritime province, resting on a continental shelf no more than 600 feet deep, shown white in the detailed map below, ends wherever darker blues indicate the progressively deeper waters of the Coral Sea and the Pacific Ocean. It stretches 1,260 miles from the Murray Islands to the Torres Strait, south to the Capricorn group of coral cays. On its eastern border is the mighty barrier itself, an almost continuous wall of coral limestone that, below Cooktown, breaks down into more widely scattered reefs. West of the barrier is a lagoon channel specked with islands green, the sunken peaks of the mountain chain that lines the coast. This is the Great Barrier Reef. Changing colors in an aerial photograph chart, the elements making up a typical reef, Wistari in the Capricorn group. On the right is the indigo blue of the deep Pacific, bordered by a light blue band marking shallower water that covers the reef slope. A white line of surf edges the dark gray rim of the reef. The adjoining band of light gray is living coral, while to the left are streaks of dead coral leading to a broad stretch of submerged sand. The light blue lagoon waters are far enough to cover the smaller coral reefs. In the distance, the other coral breaks the surface. See? There's a bright blue dot. See that? Myriad colors on the underside of a coral boulder reveal a teeming population of clinging invertebrates and plants. A rare red starfish, right, straddles and cresting gray colonial ascadians. Moving anti-clockwise, a gray Linka starfish bridges the space between red and yellow sponges. Further left, a white ringed money cowrie guards its mass of creamy eggs. Below these, past more red and yellow sponges, lie a small mottled cowrie and a slug-like scutus, its black mantle encircling a white limpet-like shell. The red specks scattered over the surface of the boulder are algae. There's the starfish. A red firefish glides downward, spreading wide to the surrealistic fins it sometimes used to walk on the bottom. The brilliant markings along its 15-inch length are warnings to any predators that an attack would be fatal, for it carries an arsenal venomous spines, 13 down the middle of the back, 3 guarding the underside of the body, and 1 on each side. I don't want to touch those spines. A brilliant blue angelfish left patrols the borders of its territory. Any other angelfish caught in trespassing will be met with an aggressive expedition of flashing color as the owner twists and turns to reveal all its patterns. The display is usually enough warning, but a fight starts if the intruder still fails to leave. Here's the angelfish. A yard-long painted flute mouth drifts idly across a bed of staghorn coral. Propelled by almost invisible flicks of transparent fins, this trumpetfish seldom moves its body. Once in range of a small fish, It need only to point its head to and drink in. The suction created by extraordinary snouts engulfs its prey. There's the flute mouth. It's very long. A stonefish center lurks among the rocks and weeds, camouflaged by color and shape. Here's the snowfish. It's blending in with the rocks. The Asturian rock cod, momentarily mottled, has a wide repertoire of pattern changes. Close behind the gaping mouth of a moray eel, a tiny cleaner wrasse eats the parasites that infest the eel's skin, confident that it is in no danger. Here's the moray eel. There's the parasites eating the skin. Hungry snappers, notorious for their eager and voracious feeding habits, prowl the lagoon channel, constantly watching for the slightest movement that could mean food. Everything from small fishes to drifting plant fragments is fair game for the snappers. Even for their shoaling behavior is designed for superior feeding ability. Because they hunt in groups that react as a single unit, they have many pairs of eyes to scout for food and achieve far more together than they could separately. Look at all the snappers. Surprised under a favorite overhang, a coral trout turns from the intruding photographer, expressing disapproval by intensive